Yes, people, welcome back to the channel. Princeton Talks. Comment, like, subscribe, notification bell, hype the video. We're back, man. And it's another episode of What Happened. What happened? What happened? Let's leave it at what happened, yeah. Leverkusen won, Arsenal won. Now, that result hurts a little bit because it's a game you want to win. You want to put this game to bed, go to the second leg, rotate, rest a couple players, probably even get some players that's never played in the Champions League on the pitch. You know what I mean? But unfortunately, we've gone there, we've drawn, so that means the next game when we next play them, it's going to be a big game. It's going to be a high pressure game. We play Everton, then next week we play Leverkusen again at Emirates. I mean, I back us to beat them, but what I don't want is that result, that draw. I don't want it to snowball into anything. So Everton just needs to be business as usual, back to basics. Home game at the Emirates, 5:30. It's an all eyes on me game. But listen, man, that's what we're here for. We wanted these moments. We wanted to compete. We was tired of being languishing, trying to get top four. We wanted to be up here fighting for the big things, and this is what it entails. So yeah, if I'm breaking down the match before the game, like I said, we went into it as favourites. We all saw the draw. Arsenal had the favourable side of the Champions League draw, even though I feel like when it comes to Champions League, listen, round of 16, you might think it's a favourable side, and cool, on paper it might be, but this is the Champions League. When it gets to this point, I was having this discussion yesterday. When it gets to this point in the Champions League, there is very rarely an outcome that would shock me. There's what match in this round of 16 will be like, oh my god, maybe Atalanta, Bayern, and maybe the Arsenal one. But I say that a bit less because at least with Bayern, they've got that European heritage. Like it will be like they probably got records. They probably got records of how many losses they have. Do you know what I mean? So whereas with Arsenal, we're still trying to build our name in Europe. And when I say that, I mean in the European competitions. Of course, we're respected around Europe, but in terms of having that heritage in the Champions League, we're building because we're definitely lacking compared to our other Premier League counterparts. That's for sure. So anyway, I went into this game thinking, yeah, Arsenal should win it, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's a draw, even a 1-0 loss. Don't write that off. I wouldn't be surprised. Anyway, see the lineup comes out. I get more confident. I'm thinking that's pretty much arguably the strongest team we could put out right now. So you go into it confident. We've won our last four games. So you think, yeah, man, business as usual. We've been great in the Champions League, especially away from home. We've had 100% record in the Champions League. We haven't gone down in the Champions League. I'm not saying we haven't conceded. We haven't gone down in the Champions League. Yesterday was the first time we went down in the Champions League. Yesterday was the first time we didn't win in the Champions League. So, of course, you go into it confident. Lineups come out. I'm happy with it. Game starts. First half starts. And I know there's this narrative, boring Arsenal. Oh my gosh, this is such a hard. But I can't lie. I think the first half was okay. It was okay. I'm not saying it was scintillating. It was like, oh my gosh, intricate passing, tiki taka. No, it was okay, but it wasn't. It didn't warrant. Oh my, this is so boring. How are we gonna? It just looked like, oh man, we just need to create a little bit more. But it was all right. We had one chance that it was a beautiful move. Timbers played in a pass to Gyökeres. It's pretty similar. In fact, very identical to the goal he scored against Tottenham, where Timber just fires it into him and it goes past Eze. This time Eze's dummied it. Oh, lovely play. Gyökeres has helped it on to Martinelli. Martinelli shifted it to his left foot. I'm thinking the chance is gone. Surprisingly, he's actually smacked it and has hit the crossbar, and I feel like that just would have been a very good moment for the momentum of the game to start building in our direction. Not to say it wasn't, but for the most part, yeah, we possession. I feel like in the beginning possession was quite even, but we felt like we were more dominant. We felt more dominant, but when they broke, I won't lie. When they broke, yeah, they looked a bit of a problem. I was surprised Schick wasn't playing, but what's the kid's name, man? Kofane, that 18-year-old boy, Kofane. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He gave Saliba and Gabriel. He gave them a good game. What they thought might have been all right, cool. Just go there, pass it around the back line, head it out whenever it comes. No, 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 no. He's winning his duels. He's getting in their faces. His pace, like just that attitude. I like that kind of attitude of a striker, and it was making me think. Well, not even making me think. Obviously, as you do, I'm contrasting. I'm looking at him, and then the ball's going up the pitch to our striker, and he's not giving these defenders enough to think about. I mean, there was times Andrich got booked in the first half, I believe, for a little wrestle with Gyökeres, but I just don't feel like he's not working these defenders hard enough. Like, I feel like they're having too much of an easy game with him. It's just like, all right, hold on to him. The ball's gonna come up top. We're gonna win it, and that's that. He can't lay it off. He can't hold it up. His aerial duels aren't impressive. It's really, really a tough watch. And I said it when we signed him. I really hope this signing isn't the reason we don't win the league, that we chose this signing over anyone else. But I caveated it. Caviar, man. Fish eggs. You know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, what I was saying is that I put an asterisk on it. Yeah, let's use a different nice word. Put an asterisk on it because when we got Eze, I felt like, regardless of who we get up front, we're good now. And I also feel like Arsenal, we were, even last season, we were creating enough chances where we just needed someone to be there that was more clinical than Havertz. Yeah. Anyway, that's a conversation for another day. But yeah, Gyökeres, I weren't impressed. Saka. Boy, Saka. This season, I feel like he's almost been off form pretty much the same for the same amount of time as Odegaard. It's just that in that time, Saka has been a bit more productive, and he's had one or two more games where he showed better flashes, and there was a bit more leeway because he was coming back off hamstring surgery. But his form has been off, man. His form has been off. And with Saka, like, obviously with players, sometimes it's like, all right, when they're not good, what's the one thing you can rely on them for? Like, if Saka's not good, what's the one thing I can rely on him for? And it's productivity, end product. Yeah, yesterday, yeah, absolute myth. And I don't want to write him up like, I mean, he was good. I mean, he scored against Wolves, scored against Brighton. He was good against Tottenham. So I don't want to be reactionary, but there is a big sample size of these kind of performances. I'll probably say this is probably the worst one. This is probably the worst one. I don't know if it's a wider conversation because obviously we see how Foden is doing, Palmer's doing. Even like for more context, Newcastle played Barcelona. I saw how Yamal, probably my favourite player right now. I see how Yamal looked against Newcastle, and I was like, wow, this is what playing the Prem is like. But anyway, yeah, back to Saka, man. It was poor. Subbed in like the first 10-15 minutes of the second half. Madueke comes on and, listen, it was the right sub to make. At first I was thinking maybe put Saka left wing and Madueke, then bring on Madueke for Martinelli but no. Saka wasn't cutting it, unfortunately. Madueke came on and he basically did what he needed to do. He came on, he was a threat, he was going in behind, he was He was beating his man. He was, even when he was like doubled up on, he was still attempting. And eventually he wins us the foul that gets us the penalty. Do I think it's a pen? Soft. But listen, when it's against you, you complain. When it's for you, you take a minute. That's just the swings and roundabouts of football. Havertz came on. We just instantly look so much better with Havertz up front rather than Gyökeres. But Havertz comes on and he takes the penalty, slots it. Oh, mate, I can't lie, I was a bit worried. But anyway, he slots the penalty away and we scam a 1-1. We scam a 1-1, take that back to the Emirates, and hopefully, I'm praying that we make the game at the Emirates the type of game that makes me even forget, oh, we drew 1-1 in the first leg. Just comfortable 3-0. 2-0. Just make it like it's nothing. We definitely need momentum coming out of that game, because after that it's the Carabao Cup final. So yeah, all in all, man, disappointed. But when I was looking at when I zoom out of our fixtures, okay, what was our fixtures? It was, what was it? Tottenham, Chelsea, Brighton, Mansfield, all wins, and then Leverkusen draw. So out of the 5 fixtures, 4 wins, 1 draw. Now, when I was looking at our fixtures, I can't lie, I was thinking, are we really gonna win every game? Because we don't do that. Who wins every single game? This ain't City pool of whatever. Like, this is Premier League going back to resetting. So winning every game is far fetched. So I was like, where are we gonna drop points? We can't drop points in the Prem. We cannot. We just cannot. So I was looking at Mansfield or Leverkusen. Which one of these games are we gonna drop points in? Because there's no way in my mind we're just winning every single game. What would that have been? If we beat Leverkusen 5, if we beat Everton 6, Leverkusen again 7, that would have been 7 wins going into the Man City, going into the Carabao Cup final, and 8 wins in a row. And then expect to go back into the Prem, beat Bournemouth again, and then beat City at their home. So like 10 wins in a row. We gotta be real. Of course, if you want to be champions, these are the things you have to aspire for. But this team doesn't feel built to win 10 in a row. It feels built that they won't lose the next 10. But yeah, to win 10 in a row, I couldn't see it. So I was just thinking, where do the drop points come in this? Where is it? And a part of me was like, listen, Leverkusen or Mansfield, I'll take a 1-0 loss or 1-1 draw, or going out of the FA Cup, embarrassingly effort. Let it, like, maybe we need a bit of a shake up to wake us up in the season. I was willing to go out of the FA Cup, or I was willing to draw or lose this game. What I was not willing to do is drop points in the Premier League, which I feel, call me crazy, I feel it would have happened. If we'd won yesterday, I feel like that Everton game or the Bournemouth game, it's just, yeah, we haven't. In this season, I don't think when we won 5 games in a row, I don't think we have. So naturally, when it's coming up to the 5th game, I'm getting worried. And if we win it, it's like, that loss is coming. Very pessimistic mind state, but it's reality at the same time. Anyway, lastly, what I will say is, are we missing Martin Odegaard? Are we missing Martin Odegaard? Hey, tell me the truth, Arsenal fans. Are we missing the captain, bro? Because, bro, these games, for as much as some of them, yeah, the attack has been better for some of them, like the Tottenham game. That's it. Yeah, we have no control, man. There just feels like no control on the pitch, and I don't know if maybe we need to implement Norgard more. I feel like we need that substitution where, I've said it before in one of my videos, big up my boy Rix, he mentions it as well. Whenever you see Marino coming on the pitch, you know that's Arteta subbing himself on. That's literally him putting his consciousness in a player and getting on the pitch. And you feel a bit of that with Odegaard, you know, a bit of Havertz as well, but I'm talking about the midfield, mainly Odegaard and Marino. You feel like, all right, they're coming on, they're going to carry out what the manager's saying and give us some stability, some control. And I can't lie, man, without Odegaard, I feel like there is something missing about Arsenal. First of all, our build-up is lacking. We got Saliba back, that's good. But Zubimendi, he's jaded. I don't know what's going on right now, but he's not in the best of form. We've been seeing it in recent games. Odegaard's been coming deep. Whenever Zubimendi's getting like blocked out the game, he comes deep, pushes us forward. Progression. So build-up is lacking. The press is ridiculously lacking. The press is I think it was Brighton. When we played Brighton, it was just going through us. Pause. It was nasty, man. There was no press at all. So I don't know, man. I feel like we're missing Odegaard, or I feel like maybe Norgard needs to be introduced more to implement that feeling of control. Cause these basketball games, this end-to-end stuff, nah, this ain't for us. I mean, we got the defense to handle it, but our defense is more than just it's more than just Gabriel, Saliba, Rice, and Raya. No, that is not Arsenal's defense. Thinking that's Arsenal's defense is very surface level. Our defense is a system. It's not players. It's a whole system. It's a whole shape. So, yeah, man, I feel like I'm eager to see Odegaard coming back into the team. It's funny because I feel like this Arsenal team, as soon as you get injured, you become a fan favourite. So I wouldn't be surprised if in a couple games people are calling for Odegaard again. Because, look, everyone was calling for Eze in the 10, bruv. He's been in the 10, man. He's been... Anyway, that's for another day as well. I don't want people thinking I got agendas because I don't know how that makes sense. How can I have an agenda against Eze and be backing... How can I have an agenda against a young black guy from London, yeah? Locks, all of that. Yeah, that plays for Arsenal. Came from the academy. And be backing... a Scandinavian guy from Norway, fam. Like, that's been off form. Come on, man. Think. But anyway, I was just going to say, I know I said lastly already, but lastly, Bodo Glimt. Bodo beat Sporting Lisbon 3-0. 3-0 at home on the dodgy pitch. Yo, if we get through, that could be a problem, man. That could be a problem. What I will say about Bodo is they haven't started their season yet. I think their first game starts like late March. So again, let's see how they are when they're in the midst of their season, because they've been playing all of these Champions League games. Let me just have a look. What was their last game? So they played a cup game on Thursday. So, all right, cool. But before that, their last game was on 24th of Feb. Before that, 18th of Feb, which is just all Champions League games. Crazy. And they've had games postponed. Raw, madness. That's another conversation, man. Anyway, do you know what? I'm saving that for another video. Comment, like, subscribe. I'm out, people.